I told them to back up, so we could have been still walking up and, I didn't point at you, so, thank you. You was pointing, I thought you pointed at me.
Stand and say grace. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for letting us gather here today in the town of Holiday Lakes. Please guide us and direct us in making the best decisions possible for our community. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one indivisible.
Meeting order, and it is 7:01 by this. The first order of business is for the members present. Roll call.
Norman Schrader. Roberta Hamby. Here. Lorenzo Macias.
Here.
Terry Mitchell.
Present.
Kay Young. Here. Dee Schultz.
Here.
Next item on the agenda is approval of minutes from the regular council meeting May 21st, 2024.
question on that grant. You have in here that the money could use, the other two options are to return the money or to figure out what the money was used for. Could we,
On the,
on that grant,
where you talking about the,
TBD,
Dr. Grant, they call it.
for, they're gonna clean out 29 palms?
No, that's an option, that's all I said.
Oh.
And they give the money back, where they gave us the opportunity to use the money for an environmental project or some other worthwhile project. Or try to sit down and go back and put all that time together that we used to get the money.
Mm-hmm.
But they did it wrong. They gave us the money up front and said, and I got a piece of correspondence on it today that said what it was, but I haven't got through all of the documents to see if they're gonna renege on that and go back. But they said we have to give it back or we have to find some other alternative project, but that's what that was. And one of them I come up with real quick was that maybe we can clean that lake out.
Not cleaning all of them out. I mean,
well,
what the lilies.
Well, but the lilies is okay, but it's not as much of an environmental project as one that got all the stuff down in the trash that's supposedly is in there.
Right, okay.
But I mean, yeah, that one lake, the only one lake got lilies anymore, and that's, yeah, Antioch. But that was $5,000 to get that stuff sprayed. What they last quote. Jimmy said he was gonna talk to somebody, same people he called last time and see if it still was there. I don't know if he has.
I don't know if he has either. He was looking for it. I think it was Lockjaw and Solitude something. I know. I'll have him look it
Yeah,
up.
but that's just when things come up with that, doesn't mean that's what it's gonna be. It just. something
How
are
come
y'all?
up real quick.
Gotcha.
We have to put our heads together and come up with something. But I mean, when they ask for something else that they think that's not like what he said he probably could do that.
Okay.
That's called the direct administrative cost that we would pay for up front based on what their criteria. They gave the money to us and then they come back and say, oh, we didn't do it right, so we want the money back, or you have to pick an alternative project. So that's where we're at.
Figures. Notice our door thing's not going off. The door alarm's not sounding.
Make a motion to approve the
Terry Mitchell, second by Roberta Hammond to approve the minutes of the council meeting May 2024. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Next item on the agenda is pending bills and actual disbursements for May of 2024.
make a motion.
Make the motion.
Yeah. Accept the printed bills and next disbursements. For May 2024.
Anybody seconded?
I'll second this.
Okay, motion is made by Lorenzo and seconded by, Roberta to accept the pending bills and actual disbursements as submitted. Is there any other discussion? Wait.
I just have a question about, the debts that have cleared is more than what we took in. So what was that cost that we incurred?
Well, for
That-
one, the taxes aren't coming in right now, the taxes pretty much paid out, so you won't get a more intake until you get close to December. And you're gonna continue to lose, in that respect. And the water is, and the garbage, that break even. So
Yes.
it's gonna go down till we get back to where you get tax money back in.
Right, but I see, did the garbage bill go up?
It's a double payment.
It was $8,000.
Yeah,
Yeah, $8,000 for the garbage bill.
so it
It
was
was,
two payments or just
Yeah,
one?
16.
One payment?
Yeah, $8,000.
$8,109.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, when did it go up, that's money.
They did go up, but we got more customers too.
Yeah, a little bit, but not $8,000.
They're falling short on the heavy trash pickup.
Yeah, they bought short on that, but
Big time.
what they did now, they put the surcharge on you for the fuel.
Right.
And they did that, and it's been around $8,000, give or take, every month. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then we need to contact them to see why they're not doing their job.
The heavy
Their
pickup,
due-
well-
Yes, their due diligence.
We called him Holloway, and he said he's gonna be out here, and he did come out, but he just drove around and left.
But
I mean,
that's not doing his job.
that's not doing his job.
We're gonna have to have, one of our city employees lead them around on heavy trash pickup.
Well, you might have to, or send him a map where it's at. That's what we did that one time to get him to pick it up. It's in 2 trucks, he take them, so, get
I'll
it picked up.
talk to them.
Okay, so,
We had storms, 3 to 4 months ago, and some piles hadn't been touched in that period.
I know. Okay, but so that was the only question
Yeah, so far.
so far?
That's all.
You wanna go ahead and vote on it?
Sure.
Okay, we had our first and second, and we had further discussion, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. And that's got it. Next item on the agenda is the presentation by the police department report. You drew the short straw.
Always.
Always.
So this is the new, county will be sending this over from now on, so it gives you all of the, what we did and what officer did it.
Okay, so we're not gonna be getting this one any longer?
Yes, you'll be getting that one, it's the,
Knowledge.
you know, it's,
Yeah, that's knowledge and
Knowledge and,
this.
okay. So, we put a total of 1,503.7 miles on our vehicle, 78.9 gallons of gas. We had 63 calls. We had 32 traffic stops, 4 disturbances, 1 bar check, 1 civil paper, 2 APD complaints, 1 animal complaint, 1 flag down, 1 civil standby, 3 follow-ups, 1 theft, 2 burns, 2 traffic hazards, 2 city ordinances, 1 recovered property, 1 assistant call, 2 abandoned vehicles, 1 suspicious person, 1 ambulance call, 1 motorist assist, 2 alarms, and 1 business check. And we had a total of 874 hours worked by the officers. So, that's that. So, y'all want me to go into this?
This is school.
This is for the school. It's Alert Air. Basically, this right here, if you'll read it, it explains it, everything. And what it is it's all of the emergency management, EMS, fire, life flight, different, and what they do is they teach us how to coordinate together for emergencies like this. And if we start flooding, everybody's gonna be able to work together on it. It's pretty well explained, but we were asking to see the class is free. We were asking if y'all pay for the hotel room and 1 meal. That's the only meal while we're in class. We'll pay for our dinner, whatever. We'll need 2 rooms. It'll be, so far, I think it's me and Mary going, Officer Newberry, and then Detective Lingers. But he can't stay in the same room with us, so he has to have someone. So, I did not get a real total on it because they won't give it to us until they say if y'all pay or not. It'll be approximately $384 for 2 nights for 2 rooms.
That's total.
Total. Well, it may be a little bit more, it's approximate. Sabrina,
$99 a night,
plus tax.
and there will be no tax.
Oh, you said no tax?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no tax.
They will take the sales tax off after I send them the authorizations.
So it's approximately about 3. And those classes will be this Thursday and this Friday. Mama Kay, I'm checking in on you for this, looking for it. Got done?
You done?
I'm done. Y'all done with me?
Yes. Next item on the agenda is public comments.
I just wanted to bring out, the attention on the current state of our ditches and culverts and how they're needing for cleaning. Some are clogged and not functioning properly. I just wanted to.
Current state of what?
The culverts and the ditches not draining, some of them are plugged.
Well, it's, which street, over here?
I mean, there's several, there's a list I can,
Yeah.
I'm just
I can
wanted-
agree with her, cause the dirt
Yeah,
in my
there's-
ditch is
there's some-
above, is
I
halfway up the
just wanted to
culvert.
bring up the attention just to put it on, just let it float in the air and then.
Well, we work through a interlocal agreement with the county. They have the equipment and they come out and use it. We turn in work orders for them to come and do it. And they will come whenever they get ready. They don't ever tell us when they're coming. But, and we turn in work orders to get several ditches cleaned. I sent it to the commissioner. I have Julie sent it to the commissioner. I told him he's gonna start getting them so he can talk to the engineer. But they've been working, other places, and they'll come out here whenever they get ready. They'll let us know, but I don't, we don't have the money to pay for somebody to come clean them out.
Oh, yeah, I understand it's a process. I just
Don't we
wanted
have
to
a
see where
backhoe?
I was at and, or
Well,
if
if-
we can do anything and like go and complain to them or like just file a report as well. So it's not just coming from y'all, but also from the citizens. So yeah. I was just wondering where
Well,
it was
like
at.
I said, we turn them in and they, totally at Commissioner's Court, and they'll send somebody out. But if they got other projects that's ongoing and they're trying to complete, like the last thing they told me, they was working in Bar X, replacing the road over in Bar X, and they use the equipment, everything they need over there for that. And that was their excuse then, and it's a lot of work in Bar X, pouring concrete streets back. They had to bust them out and put them back. That's what I was told. I didn't go over there and inspect it. But, that's why.
Can I suggest that you fill out a complaint form?
To them?
No,
Oh,
to
to here,
us.
okay.
And then what Julie can do is forward that on to, the engineers, or even to David Linder, which is our commissioner, and let him know that we are having more complaints, and maybe he can help us, get them motivated a little bit.
Okay. I'm just saying with the new schools coming on the street, I just wanted to get that flustered up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good
Thank
point.
you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for that.
Okay, my question is, with Chief Torres, okay, when Chief Torres was hired, why was he only hired and he was out here like one day a month and was mostly just on call at the time? And, why did he donate that trailer? And how come he hasn't sent back the title that he promised to give the city the title? And why did he sue Holiday Lakes?
You talking about the title of this building?
No, the trailer, yeah, the trailer outside.
Building.
The trailer in the back.
The trailer's back.
Why hasn't he turned in the title? Or has he given the title, and why did he sue us?
He has what they call, the point of manufacture is what and they gave him a piece of paper that comes from California over to here. It said that's where it was manufactured to have, and he's got a serial number on it. He sent it out here, he signed off on everything, we take it, and we look that number up from the Department of Housing and Urban Development. They control and keep track of all of the manufactured homes. You know, it's got two pieces, even just one piece, but anyhow, they don't recognize those numbers, and they say that's not a good title. So we're trying to get him to find out where is a good title.
Okay, but why did he even give us a trailer when he was hired, and why did he only come out one day a month, and why was his wife sergeant out here, and why would she do his paperwork as chief when he was chief, and why wasn't he doing his own paperwork and coming out here only one day a month or when he wanted to? And how could he be chief out here and be a chief out here and not being here present as a chief and only doing it by phone instead of him being here in person as a chief? And why is he still listed in Holiday Lakes as assistant chief when he's not even here to be assistant chief? He's over there wherever he's at, in Houston or wherever. And how can he be assistant chief if he's not even an assistant?
He's here. Ask him to come out and answer your
Well,
questions.
yeah, he's here now, but he's never here.
Well, ask him to come out and answer her questions.
Yeah,
You
he-
are person.
Brandon's here?
But why did he give us a trailer in the first place?
He had to put it somewhere, so I guess he didn't have a place, so he wanted to give it to us.
Okay,
Brought it
but,
out here, was gonna make an office out of it, but then since I wouldn't spend any taxpayers' money on it until it belonged to us.
okay, but
Till it's in
that,
our name, I'm not gonna spend.
but
any
why
money.
would he give it to us? He shouldn't be, I
He
mean, to
hasn't.
me, that sounds like a bribe or something.
Well, ask him if he's here, ask him. I don't wanna put words in his mouth.
Okay.
Good evening, good evening.
Yes, hello, Mr. Torres, Chief
Yes.
Torres, if
How you
that's
doing?
even, yes, my question is, when you were hired here as chief, you were on call, as others has told me, other members of council that are no longer council members, that you were here only probably one day a week, and then you were, on call, so to speak, as chief of Holiday Lakes, that you were on call only, and they could call you anytime that they said, and you would answer their calls, but you weren't here in person as chief, and that's how you were working, and your wife, as, I guess she was sergeant at the time, and she was the one doing your paperwork instead of you doing paperwork as chief, and that's how it was handled while your term as chief was out here. And then you gave Holiday Lakes that trailer that's out there, and why would you give them a trailer? Was that part of them for hiring you, the way that they hired you, coming out here one day a week? Is that why, I mean, a month, is that the way, so they can hire you that way? Is that why you gave them a trailer, or why would you even give the trailer to them?
Is this an open question, or is this the statements on it? Okay. Public comments? Okay.
And then, and another question is, why are you still listed as assistant chief if you're not even out here? You're just on call still.
Well,
You're not out here all the time.
Public comments is gonna be just that. We give you time to speak, give you the floor. You're more than welcome to state and say what you'd like to say.
And that's what I'm doing.
Okay. But if you'd like to have a sit down with me and ask questions, I'm always willing to
No,
sit
I'm
down.
asking it right now in public.
I think as a public, we need to know
Yeah.
what's going on.
Okay.
I think we're on the right here.
And then still to this date, we don't have the title to that trailer. And why did you sue Holiday Lakes? That's the main thing. Why did you sue Holiday Lakes? And why are you still suing Holiday Lakes?
I'm not suing Holiday Lakes.
Yes, you are. You sued Holiday Lakes.
Yes, been brought up in a couple past previous meetings that you are, so, I mean, you know, Norman's even said it, so don't deny it.
And you're making Holiday Lakes keep you on the paper. And Holiday Lakes is not the only city you sued. You sued Arcola and I believe some other cities too.
So again, you're open to have your comments if you have questions for me.
This is a public forum, and I'm asking you so you can, you're right now on the, you listed as assistant chief, and I'm asking you a question as an employee, and I'm a citizen, so I would like your answer.
Well, you're allotted 3 minutes to speak, make your comments, and it'll be noted by myself and council.
Okay.
This opportunity is really for council and not myself.
Well,
I'm not on the
what are you
agenda.
hiding?
I'm not hiding anything,
Well.
but you're more than welcome to sit down with me and answer any questions you have.
I'm just asking a question when he
Oh,
says-
all of you guys. Y'all free to schedule and answer questions, and I'm open to answer all you guys' questions. But I'm not gonna tie up this city council meeting for a Q&A when that's not what it was on the agenda.
Well, I mean, to me, it sounds suspicious, real suspicious. Does T-Pole know you're doing this? Does T-Pole know that you made some kind of agreement like this with the mayor? I mean, I don't even think it's legal what you're doing.
He was hired as a chief before, long time before he.
No, when he was hired, that was the agreement you made, so I don't even think it's legal by
We had another
T-Pole hired.
chief that quit.
Okay.
Okay, and so we asked him to step in and interview, and we kept him on as the chief. And then what happened on this building, we had a lot of stuff going on, and it was really crowded in here, so he decided that he wanted to make a investment in the town. He says he got a building he would donate to us. And I questioned that. I said, I don't want charity. He said, it's not charity. He can donate to any public place that he wants to if they will accept it. So we all accepted it. And so we set it up out there. And then when we started getting to it, we never got the title to
But
it.
you know that's wrong. You shouldn't accept gifts like that.
It's not even.
It's wrong. You know
What's
it's
wrong with it?
You shouldn't accept, because in the eyes of the law, that looks like a bribe you're getting.
No,
And
it's
then
not
by
a
the way
bribe.
he's working, it looks like a bribe. It really does.
No.
Okay, well,
Maybe in your eyes. but
no,
it's
not in
there was
my
no-
eyes. I
and
mean,
that was
it's like if
brought
he's
up
working
all
one
that
day of
was
the
done.
month, and in my eyes, it looks like he's getting what he wants. Oh, here's a trailer, I'm gonna donate this trailer to you, but I only wanna work one day a month and be on call 24/7. Oh, okay, yeah, thanks for the trailer, you know? That looks like a bribe to me.
Well, it's
you know.
not.
Okay.
Anybody else?
I have one question. Last meeting, we were talking, it was mentioned by Bill Burry that the timesheets that were, where they were, officers were logging in their hours, wasn't matching the times that were on dispatch, that they were getting for dispatch. Did y'all get that straightened out to make sure that they're logging the correct hours?
You got it straightened out.
Okay.
What the problem was they were not logging in on the computer. They weren't putting their hours in on the computer. So therefore, it wasn't showing that they worked. But yes, we got that straightened out.
Okay.
I do. If I was rent this building out for a party, how long would I have to take down my decorations?
Probably the next day.
Then explain that.
That's a rental, not for that was a community event.
Tell them.
That wasn't a community event.
It was a community event for the children.
That became a community event after some people in the community started griping. But it was not put on by the community. It was put on by a city employee. So,
It was put on for a bunch of small kids, 11 years, 12 years old.
okay, so if I did the same thing, how long would I have to clean up?
The next day.
Then explain that. Because that was Saturday. This is Tuesday.
It's not a problem cleaning it up. She thought it looked pretty, so she was gonna leave it as decoration.
We left it up
So-
because there were some children that weren't able to attend, and because they didn't attend, a lot of the times that we do community events, I leave the balloon garden up where they can have the possibility to come in here and take pictures like they have before.
And the Mother's Day
Actually,
event that was
yesterday,
up for
we had
about like a
somebody take
month?
pictures.
The
Sorry?
decorations from the Mother's Day thing that was up for like a month? Can you explain that one?
The flyer's still up outside.
She'll get it then.
Yeah. City employees need to buy the same laws as the citizens.
Anybody else?
I'd like to say something. I don't understand what's going on with y'all police over here. I'm not from this town, and the only reason I came over here the other day is because one of your police officers was in our city acting stupid and misbehaving. She was caught in a police car asleep, and when somebody went to check on her, she jumped out, acting crazy, ran at him, then called the police and lied to the police and said that this man was in her car. So we came here to file a complaint on her, and then we're treated like criminals. Bilberry went out there and ran our license plate while we were in here filing a complaint. Then he kept trying to stand behind me the whole time like I'm a criminal. So kind of like the way this guy's been doing since I've been here. He keeps trying to get behind me, and he's been staring at me, trying to intimidate me. I mean, what's going on with this police department? This is like Nazi Germany, what you guys are doing. I mean, seriously, I lived in Fort Worth for 7 years. I would go to the city council meetings every week. They would have 2 officers in the city council meeting, and that city has 1 million people. How many people is in this city? This is ridiculous, man. Now I'm hearing all this crap. Man, you guys need to get your police in check, man.
Oh, there's more, a lot more I can tell you. It's not just the police department.
That's all I got.
Anybody else? We will move on. Okay, now here where you were asking the police department questions, paid expenses for the training in New Caney for the alert air. I told you about it earlier. So what do y'all want to do? Approximately 300 bucks, they said.
Well, in all departments, and always good to have extra training. It's the tool to use, so I would say I'm good with it. I'm good with it. I'll make a motion that we accept that.
Okay. And she seconded it.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Lorenzo, seconded by Roberta to accept the request for paid expenses, training in New Caney for alert air and for environmental training for Sergeant Bill Reed, Lieutenant Andrews, requesting resolution for the Texas Smart Buy membership program. And, but first we're done. Any other discussion on that? Did all those in favor say aye? Aye. All those opposed, nay? Okay, the second part of this, he brought it up the other night, the Smart Buy membership program, where you buy the blood sampling kits or whatever you're from. It's other stuff, toxicology and blood alcohol kits. I think it's $100 to become a member of that Smart Buy. Still got one of these? So, what are you gonna do on that? Take any action on it? No. Table it.
Is that something that's mandatory now? Did he mention that it was mandatory?
It's not mandatory.
It's
He
not-
wants it out here so if anybody refuses to take a breathalyzer, they can run to the emergency room and take their blood to see if they've been drinking or not.
That's what that's for.
That's what that was for. It's not a mandatory thing.
Well, so he can do it properly.
No, it's not properly. It's just one more step to a police state.
Well, if you don't have a kit, then you can't do it, can you?
Everything that he has to go through to get to that point, which means noticing they're over 10 miles over the speed limit,
Swerving, whatever.
unless you're on the backside of Holiday Lakes dodging potholes.
Then you look
you're-
drunk all the time.
Yeah. If you're weaving or anything like that, I mean, all the signs for drinking and driving are there. They've always been there. But he wants that because we can still refuse a breathalyzer. Even after he does all the sobriety testing to prove that we're drunk, he still wants that as another invasive act.
Could be that.
Yes, sir.
That's not how that works.
So,
If we don't have the kit, it's still.
Yeah, if you don't have the kit to draw the blood.
They'll strap them down to draw the blood if they refuse. So we don't need the kit. It's better for us. That's-
Yeah, like I said, one more step to a police state.
There was a couple of items on the agenda that we cannot answer because we don't know. Mr. Detective Landers is lieutenant, is gonna have to answer that. So I was asked if we could table that until next city council meeting, and that would be on the fire law and the blood kits. So if y'all, we can just table it until next month.
but I asked him if you want to table it. I didn't hear nothing, anybody said nothing.
'Cause, I mean, I don't know, I do not know enough about it to give y'all any information. So,
Assistant Chief Torres, do you have any information on that, the kits? Is it something that, will help the police department, or?
I didn't hear the full question.
Okay, so, Lieutenant Landers is requesting a resolution for the Texas Smart Buy membership program for the blood kits.
This is new to me. Can I see
Okay,
the-
see that, he's not aware of that.
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
let me look into this. I know Chief Dunlap was, assisting with this information.
Yes,
And
sir.
so let me, kind of try to pick up where he left off and find out, and I'll have information for you by next council meeting.
Okay, thank you for that.
Okay, so we're gonna table it.
Yeah.
Anybody make a motion?
I'll make the motion that we table the Texas Smart Buy membership program.
I second it.
Okay, motion made by Roberta and seconded by Lisa to table the Texas Smart Buy membership program until we get more information. Is that right? Good enough?
Yes.
So, any other discussion? And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Ayes got it. Okay. This iWork software, did y'all get a chance to look at your flash drive?
I looked at some of it. I didn't.
I did.
Okay, you looked at it.
Not all of it, but,
Well,
yeah.
it was online too, but I mean,
Yeah.
Julie went with, they went them and they talked to them on the Zoom time meeting, and she might have a lot of input on it, but, and Trish is using it right now.
Well, what I got out of it was more organized and reliable than paper and this stock programs. And it tracks time and cost of employees and equipment. And of course, work order templates. So, I mean, it's quicker, saves you a little time.
But saves time, but it's just it's a form of a database program where you can put all your information in there and
Yeah.
retrieve it. And you don't have boxes and boxes of paper, which is what we're having to pull back out now. And then we store it on the cloud, and you can access it, I guess, from anywhere if you have the password to look up the data. And with all the regulations and the TCEQ and all that stuff, and all the records we have to keep for 10 years, 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, and all that stuff, that we can put them all inside that. So if somebody's not here that's got the records and they come in with a pop inspection, they should be able to go in there and pull up what they need and hand it to them without having to dig around through everybody's files. Which it'd be good, but it's still costly. It's $3,500 was asked and $5,500 for the two of them every year. But when you don't have a piece of paper that the TCQ asks for, then they'll write you up, and they can find you, just because you don't have the record handy when they want it. I mean, you might have it, but you just can't locate it. But I mean, it's good for that, and if you diligently enter the data and do it right, you can retrieve the data. But, you know, any software program that you got, it's junk in, junk out, or if people do it right, you get good stuff back.
So what's your thoughts, Julie, on it? I mean, y'all would be the ones that would be using it the most.
Well, I saw a video with them, we did, the work orders, and they went through the utility. They also went, did a video with, what Tricia has already, so it'll be all connected. And, she can see, like, if there's been more complaints on a certain thing, like on a work order or something, and there's a code enforcement, then she can see that it's not one time, it's been several, vice versa. We can see if she's had code enforcement too. So the utility part of it, I liked. I liked it. Sabrina was with me when we saw it. I think, were you for this? No, not for the utility, but,
User friendly?
yes. Like right now, we only have one computer for CSI. And then if you get this one, you can do it more. Like this one, on
This is more than just, it can go on her computer, it's in there, but if you have to have somebody in front of it to put the data in, you can't type that one computer on that.
Okay, so I make a motion that we approve the WordQ software for utility billing and maintenance for the work orders, utility billing, and inventory tracking.
I'll second. Okay, then that number $3,500.
Yep.
Just right now.
Yep.
Well, a motion was made by Lisa and seconded by Renzo to purchase the iWork software for utility billing and maintenance, work order, utility billing and inventory tracking. Is there any other discussion? Then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Okay, next item is, reading the community center and the rules and regulations and fire marshal report. Fire marshal came out, and, well, he wasn't fire marshal, he was work for him. And looked at it, and did some quick math, but he said, if you filled it all up, he said, because of the size of the door heaters, and I don't know if I buy that, he said he could put 180 people in here. I said, yeah, we'd have to have one of those bunk rock jumping things, that's the only way you're gonna get 180 people in here. But he said 100 would be easy, and with the round tables, he said, you got 8 round tables, or 10 round tables, you can get 80 people. So if you have 12, you can go ahead and pick up 16 more. But we just gotta look at the layout. And the round tables y'all talked about the other night, you can buy them Sam's for $100 a piece, and then you get a cart. They're nesting tables, they'll nest on top. But they look good, they look like they got a good frame under them. That would be good, and we could buy 10 of them, and that'd get us, that's 80 people, that's more chairs than we got. But at least you can buy a few chairs and add to it. But anyhow, you could have something, and then got one of these screens up, and got the other one at the house gonna work on it, and we'll put it back up probably on a weekend, because that's where everybody has to go in to pay the bills and all that stuff on that side. So it's not like we can just come in there and shut it down in the middle of the week. But anyhow, wait, on the fire marshal report, he said, you got the alarms in here, the little red handles back here. He said, if we not gonna use them, we need to cover them up with something, so somebody won't mistake them. The alarm system was put in here and never hooked up to anything. It just went off in here. So you get First Alerts to do that. But we talked to some people trying to get it into Angleton, and they said we had to have all kinds of stuff, and about $14,000. But with the new systems they use now, wireless phones, they have a like ADT. They have this alarm right over here. It's got a couple of ways to get out. But they told me that we could put a closer on that thing, contact, which would tell them that it was a fire, smoke alarm, or whatever it was. And then they would have to worry about the landline plug, and they would be able to send the signal to the fire department or whoever they needed to. They would probably make a phone call first and have somebody verify that it was something like that, and then they'd dispatch the fire department. So that's probably the way to go if we're gonna do that. And the other thing that the man said, that his boss told him, and I've tried to find it, that if you are going to serve beer inside here, we're not gonna serve it, I told him, but he said if beer's gonna be consumed in here, that we had to have a sprinkler system. And I don't know if I believe that, because if that's true, then the hitching post would have to have a sprinkler system. So I'm trying to figure out, and I asked him to show me that, and I'm not sure if that's true. I mean, but I looked into a few of the deals in some of your major cities. That's one of the requirements. They had to have sprinkler system. But we're not in a big city. So I don't know. When I'm waiting for the other confirmation I'm trying to get from him is that we don't serve beer, we won't sell beer, but if they brought their own beer in there, is there a different, is it still hold true? I mean, somebody's gonna, if they're gonna rent it out for quinceañera or whatever they do, or a dance or anything, if they brought their own beer in their own containers, you'd have to be tough to police them and stop that. So, he didn't know, he said he would try to find out, he didn't know the answer to that. And I don't know the answer to it. But it's, you can look it up, and there you'll see the fire codes and the alcohol and all that stuff. But, I mean, to me, like, I would think that it'd be alcohol more like, where you go down to La Casona, they got a whole bunch of alcohol up there. If that stuff caught on fire, it could be a pretty good fire, but I don't know if they got sprinkler system or not.
I just put in the rules for renting it out, no alcoholic beverages.
What's that?
I said I'd put in the rules for renting it out, no alcoholic beverages.
Well, I don't have a problem with that, but that's what
Cuts down on
everybody says
rowdiness.
they want to be able to drink.
Well, like she just said, it would cut down on the rowdiness too in here.
It would, yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, with it being a public building like this, I wouldn't allow alcohol in it for parties.
That's the easy fix. But that's all right with me. It doesn't bother me. I just try to do what the people want, you know. But the sprinkler system is a bit much, and trying to put that in and maintain a sprinkler system, I don't.
It's simple. One roll saves money, so the rules a lot cheaper. Ink and paper is a lot cheaper.
Yeah, but that was the biggest thing they had. If we're not gonna hook them up, we need to put something over them so people won't think they're functioning. And if we're gonna hook it up, which we can at a later date, hook it up and send it to ADT, and they would make the call.
I mean, as far as covering up the fire alarms, I mean, that's not that expensive. You can probably run down to Lowe's and get a cover for that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't wanna tear them down, we just cover it, put something
Yeah.
over them.
Yeah, like I said, you can probably run down like Lowe's or somewhere and get a cover that would go over it.
Yeah. But that's it, and then all we gotta do is put that one more cover up, and that one works good on it comes up and stops where it's supposed to, but when it comes down, it doesn't stop, so and we tried adjusting it like they said in their deal, but it doesn't work. So we're gonna have to look at that one, but the other one, I'll test it before we put it up, 'cause that's hard to get up there. You gotta get it just right, but we got it up. It looks nice. Well, case on it. Yeah. But yeah, that's where we're at on the fire marshal. And now the rules that y'all come up with any money that y'all like?
These are the ones that y'all did prior. This is what y'all had decided prior. Y'all make changes on there.
This is what was discussed before. The $350 for the renewal, $500 deposit.
And take down the decorations promptly.
Well, we can add that into,
Well, you can take that, if we're not gonna serve alcohol, if alcohol gonna be served, you're gonna have to take that off to no alcohol allowed. Until such time that they put sprinkler systems in, I guess, or find out what the rules says.
Rule is that, well, this time we just
But that's.
change number 7 to no alcohol. No alcoholic beverages would be allowed.
Inside the building, outside, and if they went to the outside, it would be okay, but not inside.
Property. They shouldn't have alcohol on their premises.
I agree with him.
You do it that way.
yeah, that's what we
Yeah.
said.
I agree with Terry on that one.
Yep.
That was in our, number 7, it says, no alcoholic beverages may be dispensed free at any function open to the general public. Alcoholic beverages may be dispensed free
Well, that's so-
at any private function to persons who are 21 or older, so we need to take that part out. If we're not gonna let them have any alcoholic beverages on the premises. So the
Make
last
that comment.
sentence.
Last sentence off.
Number 8 needs to be removed, other than, no glass containers.
Well, you don't need that for sure.
Well, that could be for anything.
Yeah, 'cause some of the Cokes that people like the Mexican Cokes and stuff come in glass bottles. I know, because our family loves them, so. Yeah. Yeah.
Just leave number 8 with just absolutely no glass containers are allowed. Except alcohol, beverages shall be consumed inside onto the
We
road.
have to take that too.
Service for
out, except for the glass containers.
You have number 9 too, if you're not gonna allow alcoholic beverages. Because this is about having 2 licensed police officers on the premises.
So if they don't do alcohol, they don't have to have the officer?
No.
Chaperones.
You don't have page 3?
We will take number 9 out, and that takes care of that question.
Read these. Can you go back to our copy? Need page 3.
How many parking spaces do we have?
I didn't hear the question.
Not very many. 15, 20.
I would say no more than 20.
So we have a maximum 20. Say you're gonna have 100 people.
We talked about, I'll tell you about the other.
Good
thing,
point.
but
It's not unreasonable thinking you might have 45
Yeah.
vehicles.
There's a rule that might need to go in there. If they're going to have parties up here, no parking helipad, make sure that they keep that area clear.
Exactly, yes, ma'am. Good point.
You know,
we-
Fire department.
they could park at the fire department because that's not functioning.
Well, over here, on this side, we call it Park Road, this one in here, we got that area next to the fence that goes down to
Mhm.
the diesel tank. We were going to try to turn that into a parking area.
Okay.
Whenever we could get everything else going, when we get to that, and that was gonna be brought up later on tonight. That was one of the things we have. I talked about putting a pavilion out there, where the engineers come back and say, we don't have enough money for a building, because it costs $240,000 to build a $40,000 building. I mean, you know, just a canopy. And so, that's, everybody's getting their finger in the pie. And then $110,000 to put a restroom out there, a self-contained restroom, but still need to put in the septic system. And then probably have to put solar panels on it and run DC lighting. He said, but they have enough money to do a parking lot for the community center. I said, well, this area over here. And I said, but if we do that, in other words, you could park straight in for a while, but what I was talking about doing was coming in on the side next to the little school shed out there, where you can drive down it and park diagonally on both sides. So you could probably put 50, 60 cars, you know. And then when you back out, you just drive out. When you back out, you don't have to try to turn around. You just drive out the other end and make the loop. And that was brought up. So that's what I was gonna bring up later. But I mean, all of that stuff plays into this. And now and in the future, yeah, if you add on to it. I also talked to them about if we can't build a canopy over there, put a canopy on this end of the mailboxes, where you could come out there and have a pavilion, small pavilion out on the end of this building. And so I'm just bouncing ideas. I'm trying to spend the money they said we got and not have to give it back. And so, we wanted ideas, so that's an idea. But then the way things cost nowadays, I don't know, it might not work. I also tried to get them to add on this way, just extend your roof line out, put a slab under it, and put a kitchen on that far end over there. And then a couple more restrooms, and then we have male, female inside here, and then open this back up, and where it'd be, give you more room, and you can go all the way, take the building off the backside. The post office might be able to move the post office further out on there, or leave it in there at that corner, but it'd be under a cover. It wouldn't take too much, because you already got about 10 foot sticking out there. Just add a few more beams on it, and piers, and you'd be back out there. Anyhow, all those were ideas. But anyhow, that's,
So, back on the rules, the seating capacity of the community center on number 15 states 120 persons when tables and chairs are being used. Are we gonna leave it at 120 or we're gonna put it down to 100?
I would think, start off with 100, no more than 100. There'd be about 12 tables. I mean, we'll just see how crowded it is. We have, the fireman wanted me to draw it out, lay it out, put the tables in the picture and send it to him. 54 inches is what there's a website you can go, but 54 inches between a 5-foot table, you know, on a triangle, and you can stick them in there like this. Well, you can get quite a few tables in there and people still move around if you're gonna keep part of it open. But if you wanna leave the center open, you'd have to come around, all around the outside and try to space out 10 or 12 tables in the chairs, which would leave the center open for whatever. But anyhow.
100?
100, I guess.
Anybody?
Yeah.
100? And then we can see
You
how.
can adjust it as time goes by.
How many's in here now?
25, 30 maybe. Now, have
40?
You see what you got in spaced out, but if you put them around those chairs over there, I mean, you still have quite a bit of space. So I mean,
40 folks.
That's not very good.
so anyhow, that's all I was getting at, is that they said 100 easily. We can get out pretty fast. Oh yeah, we have to put signs on the doors. These buildings, these doors can't be locked from the inside during working hours or open hours, which they never lock. You can always get out, you can't get back in.
So I'm not trying to be ugly about it, but why are we calling it the community center? Why are we not calling it the town hall? Because it's not a community center. It's a city
Call it
hall.
whatever you want. That's just a holdover from when it was a community
Yeah,
center.
that's just all over from where it is,
No.
community center.
We ought to call it the town hall.
How's me?
Good. How are the next?
So,
It doesn't have to do with rules and regulations, but I think we might need to look at putting tamper-proof covers over the thermostats.
I thought
They're
so,
locked.
those are locked, right? We can get those covers for the, like the fire bill and everything.
I can lock it, they can't change it anyhow.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to put nothing on it, just lock it. Huh?
So we can't. This one, oh, at least this one is, this is the one.
No, I thought I unlocked that one, but it found it was locked and it couldn't make a change, it just kept whatever it was, you know, and I can still do that, I know how to do it now.
okay, so, and then on page 6, it says deposit refund held. So if we're gonna hold someone's deposit, who's gonna be the person that's gonna be doing the inspection to make sure that it's clean and back in order?
They need to come with, let me get this correct, we gotta come with them when they rent it and go through a list, right? And then come and inspect it the next day, so they get their money back.
Correct.
Okay.
So who's gonna be responsible for doing that?
I'll do it.
We've had that issue in the past. Of it not getting done correctly.
Well, you're gonna, okay, this is a question I would ask if it was my money. If I had a small mess and I had to clean it up, you gonna keep the whole $500?
Yes.
Okay. to make sure they understand that, because I mean, if they just left the sack, oh, forgot to take that sack out or something, you know, you left trash sitting on the floor, and they leaked all over the floor. But it's not that big a deal, but it's a big deal, but you're gonna pay $500 for that?
Yes.
Yeah.
We won't get rid of those.
I mean, if they come out to do a service and they don't do it completely, they don't deserve to get paid.
If you leave a mess when you move out of an apartment, you don't get your deposit back.
Yeah.
Right?
That's not a mess really.
But I just, you know, it just depends on, if it's, usually, we had somebody do this before, they rented it, it was $150 deposit, so that's, make them clean it up. They rented it and they throw beer bottles everywhere, they dumped stuff everywhere, and they said they wouldn't clean it up for $150, they left, and we had to get 3 or 4 people to go in and clean it up. But that was a big mess.
Why you don't charge some hours for the city workers and just, you know, just pay them to do it so my church gets clean?
Well, we can do that too.
That's the easiest thing to do, we can. That's
Charge
the
it-
way that you be
we just
sure
charge
that
it
you
up
be done.
front?
I'm sorry,
Charge it
why
up
not?
front?
Same thing with the $500.
Yeah, like if you rent a beach
I'll
house,
clean
you
it
have to
for
pay
$5.
$200 when you rent it.
I didn't know you.
If you rent a beach house, you have to pay at least $200 cleaning fee right when you rent it.
You need to clean, you get your money back, it's the same.
Get some of these police officers to clean it up, y'all, I don't have a problem.
They can plenty of time.
Well, Roberta said that she would check, make sure everything's cleaned up, and if it's not, well, if she's willing to check, and if it's messy, she should get the deposit if she cleans it.
Well, that's kind of one of those, conflict of interest too. If I was gonna clean it up, I'd be out, there's a mess.
I mean, I've cleaned apartments and stuff before, so I know how
Well,
to clean them.
hopefully the people don't try to mess it up. Every time I've been to a party, everybody was right at the end, everybody got up, put it on the trash, everybody worked together, in 30 minutes, she was out, and everything.
You have a party, you don't have no control of the people that come. When you have a party, you don't have control of the people that come. So the best thing to do is to have somebody that is gonna clean, and it's gonna be somebody out of the party. That would be the best thing to do. That would be the only way.
Do
To make
that,
it- to
do a
make sure.
200 deposit, cleaning deposit. I can work with that.
Well,
Well, actually, I can come and clean. It's a problem, man, I'll clean in 3 hours.
that might work, we'll look at that.
You know, I have a trailer.
That is a good idea.
I can rent the trailer.
Well, they'll just walk off from me.
Yeah.
Just make a big mess, you know, it might work. Like they did over yonder, they said, make a big mess, we'll pay $150 to get cleaned up, and it was a mess. It took 3 or 4 people hours to clean it up.
But if they do a 200 cleaning deposit, then I don't see, that sounds good to me, but that's up to y'all too.
Well, it does, but I mean,
You also have damage, if there's any damages.
but what I was getting at is, if somebody comes in here, and I'd be upset, and I didn't leave a mess, but just a little bit, and I got charged $200 or $500. And then somebody come in here and they just, it looked like the garbage dump when they left. And then you still got paid $500. The guy that didn't, it disincentivizes them to do any cleaning. In other words, it just, okay, make a mess.
But the thing is, if you charge them the $500 deposit and they clean it up.
They
and
get
it's
their money
in
back.
that, They get the $500 back.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
$500 is a lot of money. Somebody's gonna clean it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
We're
if
gonna
you give you a
leave it
check
a
and you
mess.
hold it, you don't cash it, it's not gonna do no
That's why we
good.
did it, because that was a mess. that time.
Yeah, I think you'd have to put, if a person lets you put like they do on a hold on a credit card, so you get it, put a hold on it, you get your money back, you pull a hold off. That's the only way you're gonna lock them in, or to hold cash.
Yeah, I would get it in cash, the deposit.
Yeah, make it like a cash deposit.
You gotta-
That way there's no bounce checks or they cancel their credit card or anything like that on
I know
you.
they do that, they put a hold, but you have to have something like that, or it's open season. But anyhow, whatever they want.
I mean, they're right, cash. I mean, if somebody wants to rent it, it's not that hard to run down to the bank and get $500.
Well,
in
the
cash.
check, right? You don't have it in the bank.
So,
Well, I would, yeah.
The church even does.
It's nice in here, the air conditioners work great
Charges
right now.
$500?
Well, not that much, but we do it at the church too. And we rent it out.
What do y'all rent it out for?
Usually for weddings, parties, or.
I mean, how much? I'm sorry.
It's about 200, like you said.
ooh, you might have to stay competitive there.
All right, so what, we need a motion
I want to make
to
a
approve
suggestion
it.
as far as the lawn correction.
Table it till the next
One meeting, that's
meeting,
as far as the lawn correction.
Yeah.
I feel like if you have a party here, there should be an officer present. And it's gonna have to be an off-duty officer, because anybody can consume alcohol and then come here. If alcohol isn't needed here, allowed here, then fine. But the city's gonna be held responsible for an event happening, and they can provide security or provide an option for security.
So it's kind of like there's no inspection, you get what you expect, not what you expect. If you don't have somebody here, it's like they bring alcohol in.
We'll make a motion to table action item number 9 until next month's regular meeting to give us time to put the corrections into the rules and regulations for renting.
Well, maybe get some more input from some of the people that y'all got in, y'all do some work like this, serving or,
We've set up events before, yeah.
yeah.
Actually, I want Terry to just go ahead and make a motion on it and work it up and discuss it again next week or next month.
Yeah, because y'all have to rewrite it. Now that y'all have changed rules and decided to rewrite it, you're going to have to vote on it once it's actually written back up again anyway. So, like, you'd have to have a waiver. You'd want a waiver that they have to sign and all that, that they're responsible for any damages and all that kind of stuff, so.
Yeah.
Very capable
Table it.
I'll second it.
Table it till next month.
Anybody second it?
Me.
Okay, motion made by Terry and seconded by Roberta to table basically the whole deal until we can revise it and look at it again and maybe get some more input. Any other discussion? Then all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Okay. What is, we have to do this if we want to stay inside the HGAC block grant program administered Push County, we have to opt in other words, or if we're gonna opt out, then you're on your own, you might not get any funding.
Yeah.
That's basically the gist of it.
We're in the program right now, correct? We are in the program?
Yes.
Yes.
We are in the program,
Yeah.
we wanna stay in it, we just gotta tell them we wanna stay
There you go.
with them.
There you go.
That's
That's fine
basically,
with me, yes.
if you wanna do that, then we're trying to send it in. I have to let the attorney look at it, make sure that he thinks it's good.
We're gonna have to do it. Monday's the 24th.
Yes, they're waiting for us.
Yeah.
But,
Can't close the deadline, sure.
yeah, they had to wait, they knew that we had to wait for 2 months to get it.
I make a motion, we approve the Missouri County Development, Department,
And I'll second.
yeah, Community Block,
Hang on.
Development Block Grant Program.
Want to stay in the program?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, motion is made by Lisa and seconded by Lorenzo to stay with the Missouri County Development Department, which keeps us in the HGAC block grant program. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay.
And I think our portion is $130,000.
That's what it was last time, yeah.
The last time. I don't think they've gone up on that recently, but yes.
Okay, this other one is because cyber, well, it's not security, but these people are getting into your computers and blocking you out, holding you ransomware and stuff like that. We had a little bit of insurance for TML, but they're swinging out and gonna offer more and at a different cost. And they want us to let them know if we want to keep it or do away with it. It wasn't too expensive. If you don't do something, it says members that don't follow the opt-in procedure will lose their existing cyber coverage effective at midnight on September 30th.
So what's the increase? Is it in here? I didn't see it. Increase or total? Oh, here it is.
Board of creating a separate cyber fund. Each member that wants to continue coverage must sign the new separate interlocal agreement to join the fund. The full total amount payout of cyber claims will be capped at $25 million. Should criminals execute a widespread attack, the full board of trustees will decide how to allocate those funds. The limit for third-party liability has been reduced to $500,000 or $1 million, depending on whether core or core plus options is selected. Cyber coverage contributions premiums will increase based on the member's elected limits. The new contribution range from $1,000 to $1,850, depending on the member type and coverage level. Unless a member chooses a different coverage level, current level will roll over. Suggestion coverage will be renewed at a current elected limit. We were paying, I think, $250 something.
Okay.
Because the frequency of it hitting, I guess that's what you and Mark chart is. Told out the cost of the board, so they trying to do what they can to, I guess, increase it and cover it. So it's, you want to stay in it?
Yeah.
All it needs a motion, and we'll send that back to them. Motion and somebody second.
I'll make a motion, we approve the Texas Municipal League intergovernmental risk pool cyber liability and data breach response coverage.
Okay.
I second.
Okay, motion made by Terry, seconded by Disa to keep the coverage for the members, cybersecurity stuff. I get here and that was read. Keep their risk pool cyber liability and data breach response coverage up to date. Any other discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Okay, now the fund board.
Next.
We're gonna canvass the election. count the votes. You got your main one, don't you?
We should have one too. They can have her.
Well, the election is held June 15th, 2024, and the early voting too. Lorenzo Mencius received 27 early votes for 58.7% and 13 on election day for a total of 81.25%. Monica Hancock received 19 early votes at 41.3%. And election day, she got 3 votes for 18.75%. So a total is 40 votes for Mencius, 22 votes for Monica. Total votes, 62 votes. 0 undervoting, no overvotes. Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm.
So, do the winner, do you want to swear you in now?
Let's hope this is better than last time.
We can do it after, we go ahead and go through it. Do it after. Okay, we'll do that. We'll come back on swearing him in. Okay, next agenda item is firewall folks and Steve Bond. She said she didn't have that, so we can skip that one.
That one's gonna be tabled for next month.
Yes. Okay, yeah.
Because that's for,
Okay.
land.
Building permit applications. Anything new?
Yeah.
None submitted. Travel trailer.
Building, yes, we have them,
Building permit, yes, building
Yes,
permit,
those
he's asking for a variance.
but he's asking for variance.
Francisco Salazar, 2 lots over from his house.
It's just one lot.
We got 2. Okay, one.
Well, I'll provide the information needed, so you'll tell me what the next step is, and I'm sure everybody's aware of
Got you.
how all of this got started.
Yeah, it's that package, it's that package.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's was.
Take everything apart.
I don't think he's recording anymore.
He already started the building, but he's asking for a variance because it's really close to the fence line. And they had asked him a while back, remember, with the other one? But this one's only 12 inches from the fence line. We went to measure it. It tells you each picture that they provided and
Is this on the chicken coop that's over there on North Lake? Is it the chicken coop on North Lake? And what's the complaint on it? It's too, okay, it's on the fence, I understand that. But the ordinance so states that a chicken coop has to be 100 feet from a neighboring dwelling, like an actual resident in a home, not the fence line. It says it has to, if there's a house on the property next door, then yes, it has to be 100 feet from that.
It's far away from the house on the left, and it's far
And
away
then
from the
it,
house on the right.
and actually in the ordinance it also states unless there's an agreement with the neighbor.
I don't have a problem with any of them.
So,
You don't have any, you have a neighbor?
so it's, he's not out of compliance if there's not a house.
Have you get a complaint from the neighbor?
Okay, well, I'm just saying if it's the chicken coop isn't out of compliance. I don't know anything about the other building.
Well, I'm sure it's fine.
On the house, yes, we have.
If he doesn't have any neighbors within 100 feet of where he's putting the chicken coop, then there's.
The chicken
not-
coop's fine.
Yeah.
So that part's fine.
It's not a house, it's just a storage to back up my trailers, and that's it.
There's no electricity.
I don't need electricity, I don't need water, I don't. Thank you.
There's not, it's not.
Welcome.
It's more than building, but since they made it to, but I know there's ordinance, if they just took out more livestock.
I mean, you know, I'm okay with that, it's just okay with trailers parking everywhere with junkies, I mean, come on.
Honestly, the place
You know, somebody
is
came
a
yesterday,
way
Tony,
to master
can you ask Bishop for it? Because that has all the information for
But he's talking about,
I'm 100% sure they'll need a lot of pressure, people that. They don't respect us,
Yeah, I agree.
That land is 5,000. 5,000, 6,000, something square feet. That's it. Well, the land that's next to it, on each side are not his. So you skip the land, half the land, and it's his house. It's his house, skip, and it's that.
That's a big chicken coop.
No, the chicken.
So you're, Julie,
Consider that a chicken.
are you asking for the ordinance on the chicken coop?
Yes.
It's on y'all's website.
No, because somebody came in yesterday and asked for,
I can see that. That's more like a building.
He's got chickens in the chicken coop.
What are you looking at?
Right here, sir.
That's not, no, that's not.
No, no, the chicken coop is this blue one, correct?
Yes.
Yes. But where's that at in your property?
That's in the
at the
front.
beginning.
Okay.
And look, like right here.
Yeah. And what are you gonna use this building for?
No, I'm watching it.
The back of the trailer?
Yes, sir.
She's on camera, she can't do that.
That's it.
And
That's all I need it for.
no walls put up, nothing
No
like
need
that?
for that. Not at all.
You just gonna put the roof on?
I'm just gonna put the roof on and that's it. I'm not gonna enclose it too much because of the heat also.
You said too much, that's the thing.
Huh?
You said too much, not enclosing it too much. So how
No,
much are you
no,
gonna
I just
enclose
need
it?
a roof.
It's the roof.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
Metal.
Mowing equipment.
I have a, that's what I do for a living.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Do you need that?
I mean,
Like I said, I know the ordinances.
So you're asking for zero,
Well, something like to finish it, that's what it is.
zero setback, it's 25 foot, zero on the front and zero on the sides. So your existing structure right now is basically zero other than what, maybe 9-10 inches of
Yes,
the
sir.
fence?
It's a foot from each side of the fence, and on the back I have way more than the that. It's just basically the sides, what the issue is at this point.
So right now on the sides, you're basically zero clearance. And in the front with the storage building and chicken coop, or appears to be a storage building,
The building is gonna be in the back.
it's
just-
zero to the front.
That's the chicken coop there.
Yeah, but it's still zero clearance on the front property line. It's taken all the way to the front.
You can say that.
So you're asking for zero clearance.
Lo que quiere decir zero clearance es de que está pidiendo el variance porque usted puso el chicken coop donde, en la línea de la propiedad. Y para,
It's gonna be removed because I'm gonna put a gate anyway. Right now it's there, but I have to move it about 2 foot because my gates are gonna open like this. So I have to move it anyway. But at this point, for my chickens, I'll take advantage of every single inch if I can, you know? And this whole issue started like this, if you would like to know how it started. So I called the city, I came to the city and asked for a permit. Why do I need to get a permit? So She just threw the paperwork to the side, what are you gonna build? I told her what I was gonna build, and then she said, you don't need that, you just need it for your equipment. Okay, so what did I do? I will move forward and make it happen, and then I got stopped in the middle. So as a person that is looking to get space, what would you do? You will take advantage of every single inch of your property, right? So that's what I did. And then, it's not that I skipped it, I came to the office, and I'm sure you have cameras, and that's being recorded, the phone calls and everything being recorded. So this whole thing started like that. I don't have a problem with moving anything, but I don't know. What's the move? What is the decision that you have, what do you have in mind for me?
I would suggest just, this is my thought, you get the white fence right there on the side, and you got your 12-inch clearance there. I mean, by ordinance, we got to have 5-foot clearance for any building structure.
Okay.
It's not a chicken coop, and it's not a home, but still you got to have the 5-foot clearance, period.
So the only thing that I would have to worry about is the front right now?
That's just throwing that out there, sir.
The
Right?
sides.
The side. I'm talking about, sir, I'm talking about the
You're talking about the
side,
sides.
right here on the side, and where you fence, where you got your 12-inch
Okay.
clearance. Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking
How
about.
much do I have to move it?
5 feet. You gotta have to be 5 feet from this, from the property
Okay.
line, 5 feet over.
All right.
That includes the eaves,
Yeah.
Okay.
overhang.
Yeah,
All
yes,
right,
sir.
and then I have to lose that money
Lose that money, what that?
myself?
Cause he paid
Because
to
of-
build it.
because-
He has to pay workers to do it. It was
Well,
done
I'm
because
losing
he had
lumber
got
and I'm
permission.
losing workers,
That's
so
how-
how is it gonna work? Because I already have run this out of my cut, because I don't feel like it was my mistake at all.
Your mistake.
It was, he got.
I walked
he
into
got
the
permission,
city
he didn't
and
get-
asked,
Right.
They're saying his fence line has to be 5 feet
and
back.
they told me that it was
It is.
okay to move forward.
They're
So
saying,
why did I
okay,
do-
so
I move
if this is your
Move
property
over,
lines,
right,
right,
I
these are your
understand that.
fences,
Yes, sir, I can see
right?
that.
So who's
The
the
eve
guy
of your
that-
building,
the guy that-
whatever, however you put your building,
It's-
there has to be
it's-
5 foot from the
I would
eve
say
on either
maybe
side.
two
You're
mistakes.
seriously.
It could
Even,
be-
I
So
guess,
where his
it
fence
could
is at is
be-
fine.
and doesn't he own this
You don't own
property
the
here?
property next door to you, correct?
You know, this
Now, I'm
one,
just,
but I
I'm
can
just
own it.
business, I'm gonna throw something out there, just think about it. You have a property line, okay, you have a building you're gonna build, as a chicken coop, a garage, or a building, or whatever. But by ordinance, we gotta have you 5 foot away from the side.
That's
Okay,
everybody in the city?
Okay, now,
Okay.
just common sense, and maybe respect to your neighbor. You know, I mean, I see at the roof, the reason we got 5 foot, because of the rain that goes down.
And my roof goes to
Yeah,
my
correct, it
property.
goes to, yes, I saw that,
Well,
that's good.
Really, the reason that you have a 5-foot setback and the other neighbor having a 5-foot setback, you got a 10-foot gap between, you go to the houses in Allen, you have access to the back behind it. With the fence in the middle, but also it stops fires from transferring from one house to the next if you got them real close together.
Yeah, but it's going, neither of the neighbors have
Right.
the chance of building, because they don't
Because
have
of-
enough property.
But who's to say that about the other property next door, you don't know that.
Well,
There's only one lot between our house
There's only
and
one
our.
lot,
And
Still,
You built,
but I'm not building a
Can we
house.
build them?
the neighbor won't build too.
So you're gonna let someone build in one lot?
No, no.
No,
We're
he's
not-
saying
no, ma'am,
that,
we're not
what
allowed
about
that, no.
What he's referring is that, what about if they come in, your neighbors,
Yes.
and wanna build exactly what he's building?
Yes.
There's not the,
And then-
the 5 foot on sides, cause how about if they wanna come and do the same thing? That's what he's
Yeah,
saying.
that's where common sense comes in, and respect for your neighbor.
Mhm.
It's an
That's all I got to say about
unfortunate
that.
situation that he got himself
Yeah.
into.
Why do y'all want him to be in compliance when the mayor and the pro tem ain't in compliance?
Why am I
with-
not in compliance?
Because that shed y'all got in y'all's property, that garage, whatever it is not in compliance with the rules. Cause y'all don't wanna let nobody build a shed like y'all's. You use, your husband uses it as a room, a game room, whatever. And-
What?
Well, there's.
Well, I mean, like a shed, he uses it
A
as
lot of people
a-
think
That's
it's-
a personal right there.
And then all of a sudden, I'm the only one that is getting.
She's saying
me
my
out here from
barn
that.
is the game room.
I mean, I can take pictures
Yeah.
of it
Well,
all the
that's
way
how
around
he,
town
your
and
husband
bring
had
it
put
and
it
show it
last
to
time,
you.
a shop.
one
He
that's
used
very
it-
private.
the word as
A
a
lot
shop.
of property that
Yeah,
nobody
it's
has
a
respected the
shop.
The
line.
sun is the water over to the other one.
Yeah, yes.
And so
That's-
he-
There is so many.
And that water is
Yeah.
on the other one, so only the back.
It has electricity in it,
One
doesn't it?
conversation at a time.
Nobody else can have electricity in theirs.
So shop?
Yeah,
Anybody can have electricity.
How long has that shop been there, Ms.
I
Navarro?
don't know, but I mean, since, one of the floods, cause your house was different at.
No, my
the
house
point-
is different. That barn
Yeah.
was
But
been,
still
has
has
been there since
electricity.
92,
Okay,
before
if I
I
build a
bought it.
shop that big, you're not gonna let me have electricity in it or
No.
anything?
Here it goes.
And then, here it has the man cave, that's what your wife quoted, yours is a man cave. And then before the floods came, it was used as your office, that's what your son
No, it was
said.
always man cave,
And then your big garage was used as an office, that's what your son said.
The barn was already built there
Man
before
cave.
they
It
bought
was,
it.
yeah, but it was,
Place.
it was, and it has electricity and everything.
It was already there.
I've got plenty of room.
But
I got
that's what
plenty-
your-
you don't have
your
to
son
worry
said
about that.
before the
That is
flood,
not
it was
only
an
just
office.
5 foot off the fence, and all that stuff, I got all that stuff right.
But still, it was an office. That's what your son said, it was used, you used it as an office before the floods came. And your wife said it was a man cave, not, and
It's been a man cave ever since they built the building.
okay, and it has electricity and everything.
Yeah, I've got
And
everything.
if I wanted to build something that size, they wouldn't let me have electricity and
Yes,
everything.
they would.
Huh?
Have you asked for one?
You wouldn't let me put electricity, like that man that was here, a few months ago, that's what, he wanted to build a shed that size for his boat. And you kept saying, you're not gonna have electricity or running water in there, are you? And you kept telling him, are you, you can't have electricity or running water in there, can you? And
No, that
you-
was, that's the guy said he was building a storage shed.
Yeah, but you
Gonna
kept-
convert it into a house later. That's
Oh.
why that was like that.
Okay.
That's the only reason, I didn't bring that question up.
Yeah,
Other
yes,
people
you
brought
did, you
that
kept
question.
telling him, you can't have light or electricity in there, you can't have running water in there, you sure you're
No,
not gonna
he
do
got
that?
all of it.
You kept telling him that, and he kept saying, no, I'm not, sir, I'm just gonna use it for my boat. Okay, but make sure you don't have light in there or no running water in there, you
We're
can't do that.
making room for his boat. You're talking about a house on, Sitka. I
Mhm.
don't know what the house number is.
Yeah, but he kept saying, no, I'm just gonna use it for my boat, to store my boat, okay, but make sure you don't have no running water in there, no light.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. Do
Yeah.
you remember anything like that?
I remember one towards Sickton, I also know one about, where on my street, which is the 40 feet by something that he was gonna use. Those are the only two that I remember. I don't remember.
Okay, so if I make me an office back in my yard, I can have electricity and stuff.
If you got the room for it.
Yeah, I have the
The
room for
permit was
it.
given.
I have another lot, I can put an office there then, you can't
You
say
got the
nothing.
room to build a building like that and not cover up your.
I don't want it
sewer
that big, I don't want it that big, but I want electricity in it.
system? Nobody can stop you from building it if you've got the room for it. You have to be able to have a sewer system, and if you can't cover up.
I'm
your
not gonna
sewer-
have a toilet in there, I just want
But all I'm telling you,
electricity in
nobody's
it.
turned, nobody down on that.
Okay, but I don't want you to say you can't have running light in it.
That- We're not in an open discussion on
Okay.
that. That's not right. You're wrong.
Okay, yes, you said it, I have it on tape,
Okay, bring it.
okay.
I get blamed for everything that somebody says anyhow.
You might want to double check on your thing.
So what are we gonna do?
So it's,
Okay, so we're gonna, you gotta move it 5 foot.
5 foot. That's what he said to me to sign.
Each side.
So I have to move it 5 foot.
Each side.
Do I have to move it?
Yeah,
Well, I told you last time what was gonna happen.
well,
Because if I'm gonna lose that money, I mean, the city's gonna lose that money, not me, because you had the time to stop me before I make any move. You had the time to go give me a little advice when I was working, you say, you need to move before I even put a post down. You have plenty of workers, I mean, I see so many around. And nobody had the time to do it? Okay, that's another thing. And then I even came to the office. I talked to the lady. I try to do things right. So what did I do? So now I have to move it all just because things get out of hands? As a city fault? It's not my fault. That was city fault.
Sir, I don't wanna be rude to you, but, I was given paperwork. Miss Robbie was with me. And we knocked on doors and knocked on doors and
In my
nobody
house,
did.
I have cameras. I have plenty of cameras around my
We
property.
watched your workers where they went and then they wouldn't even.
I'm always around the house.
And
I'm always,
then.
I have cameras,
I know you
I have plenty of
I
cameras
know
around my
there.
property, and
But-
I can tell you how fast everybody drives around.
But we
Something
did
that
come
maybe
over
the
there
cops
one
cannot
day
say,
with
okay?
paperwork from Officer Bilbrey.
I have the proof for the phone calls to here, there, and there. If they need to be come up, I will bring them up. If that would be the case.
Yeah, I can,
But you remember that day that y'all sent me and Robbie over there?
I mean, I'll make the move, but I'm not thinking to lose money yet because I'll move it next week. But I'm not paying for the extra postage, and I'm not paying for a week of workers. At least not out of my pocket. Oh, what do you prefer? You prefer to jump? Well, I would just leave it free for the junks. I would let them put all the trash, like a lot of lots around the city. Man, it would be better to have a lot of people like me around. You know, people that pay taxes, that work.
Yeah, I know. I pay
Okay.
taxes, I work.
There's so many lots full of junk and nobody says nothing about it.
Just wait till I get to my report. And you'll be surprised.
Did you? You didn't get a permit, they didn't give you anything?
No,
I wasn't the one that spoke to him.
no, it was,
It was Cindy.
the Cindy girl.
He said it was Cindy.
I mean, I think that's what,
She
that
didn't
was,
give you
that's
any
what,
credit.
not at all, said, and then I had that, I complained about that since day one. I even told you over the phone, hey, it was easy for me to just handle something. Or if you weren't able to handle it, why you don't go talk to me? I'll live a few blocks away. And everybody knows what's happening now, but nobody was able to do nothing at the time. Why now?
Because you can get five.
When I'm almost done.
Got all that stuff.
The package, the whole package has the rules and. what
I
they-
mean, I'm doing an investment of about $60,000 investment in
Did you
it.
send him a
Come
letter?
on.
I sent him a letter.
I did got that letter. I talked to the mayor.
I think I sent a couple of letters. I can't find the case right now because we moved file cabinets around. But I can have it for y'all tomorrow at some point. I can find it.
And this is the same house you sent me and Robbie on?
This is the same house that y'all went over there because I could get a response back from him, so y'all went over there and he didn't answer the door.
I never, do you know what day you guys?
Yeah, I would like to know the day and the
look
time
at the
because I
cameras.
can pull out my cameras and see.
It was before. y'all-
And I don't think they were home, cause we went to the neighbors across the street and knocked, and they didn't answer.
Yeah, we couldn't get nobody to answer.
Well, we were estamos mirando por la cámara.
They didn't get permits, Cindy didn't get permits.
There is, but we moved it.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Did you let them know what size you were gonna build?
When I came to the office, yes.
You had it in writing, you had a
No, I
diagram?
walked straight here, asked some question, I tell her, and she asked me, what do you want it for? I tell her, I want it for my trailers. And then she said, well, if it's something like a, she called it a shed.
A lean-to?
Yeah, she said, if you want it for that, you don't need it. I said, okay, sure. What do I do? I called him. He was working in there.
And she called too.
And then I told him, move forward. What did I do with $7,000-8,000 worth of material sitting in there, getting wet? Man, I'm not gonna allow that to happen. A lot of money sitting in there for nothing. So I just make the move, and that's why it's done.
That's why we, basically, this is what kickstarted all that stuff, everybody has to get the packet, everybody gotta get a permit. Somebody has to go out there and tell them and show them, so they have to explain what they're gonna do, give us the print, and all that stuff, so this won't happen again, but if Cindy never just said you don't need it.
And then we were never informed of it until the building went up. And then that's whenever everybody said, hey, he's over there, you gotta go, they have a permit. I said, not that I'm aware, but
A lot of miscommunication.
I did not know that
here.
he'd come here and talk to Cindy, nobody told us.
Yeah, but if you got, I know I came, and there's phone calls and
I'm not saying
everything,
that,
so.
I believe you,
That's
I'm
the
just saying
thing.
Cindy never let us know.
But at the end of the day, it's not my problem.
Yeah, cause when y'all sent us over there, right before that or right after that, there was a bunch of material delivered, and I sent you the pictures, said, can't get nobody to answer, so I can't give this paperwork, and I brought it back up here to y'all.
Yes, and you sent me the pictures of.
So how long it's been?
Y'all having the materials
So
delivered.
how long it's been, do you
It was when
remember?
the materials were getting.
So that's how
delivered.
long we have been of open window to
Yes.
make that stop, and nobody did. So it's been months, so it's a lot of time.
What I was told after the fact, after, whatever, and I asked, they said he's building a chicken coop. That's what I was told. So, and I was told that was fine, he could build a chicken coop, but then he put the big building up. And then that's whenever everybody was like, oh, he's putting up this building. So I went by, tried to talk to him, he wasn't, but he works, so it's hard to get a hold of him. I sent him a couple of letters, and when I finally got a hold of him, he did stop building it. He stopped.
It was that simple, to get hold of me, and that was done. Very simple. and nobody took the time to do it at the time that it's supposed to be, you know? Because I did not build it one night to the other, it took time. So it was plenty of time, city workers running back and forth, police, and a lot of y'all, and you don't know that. So.
How much did y'all spend?
I'm about $25,000 right now, a little more.
He's done a lot of work on there. He's even had material brought in on the ground.
Y'all can't override it as a y'all can't override it as a council and waive it?
They can give a variance, that's what he's coming for, he's asking for variance.
We ain't made a decision yet.
I'm gonna make a motion.
I mean, if it was the mistake of them not giving that, why wouldn't they give a variance?
So you built the building, you have the nice fence up, everything enclosed in your property, correct? So the property on this side belongs to someone else.
Yeah, I already,
But
yeah,
I
go ahead.
just, bear with me. So someone else owns the property on this side, okay?
Yeah.
And it's only one lot, correct? Okay, so on this side, is that your property?
It's my neighbor, but no problem.
No, but is it your property?
No,
That's
the other
what I'm
side.
asking.
No, the other side.
So you just own the one lot in the middle?
Yes.
As far as building a house, he's not putting sewer system in, so that's in his favor, he could cover the lot. But the other lots, they're too small for a septic system, they're not.
The other property, so there, it's really null and void, because nobody's gonna be able to build anything on this side.
Oh, no, either side.
Nobody's gonna be able to build on
Correct,
this side.
correct.
So you could purchase
I'm trying.
either one,
Both
and that
of
would
them.
be all your property,
Both of them,
correct?
when the time comes.
I don't have
Because
an
neither
issue.
of them have the chance to do anything unless they let it. You know what I mean?
By his house.
I don't have a problem with it.
It's a shed, and I say but anyhow.
Can I just ask one more question?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have the roof and you're gonna have the runoff.
Yes.
Okay.
When the water goes to my property.
It goes to this property.
Both sides, it goes into my property.
Don't go to the side, just front.
No,
front.
not
It goes front to back.
To the front.
Can I say
Yes.
something?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I went over the other day and I talked to
Yeah.
Mr. Salazar and his wife. And to me, I mean, it is close to the fence line, but he's got it to where the water's gonna run onto his property. And like I said, these people really can't do anything. She came in and asked for a permit, she wants to put a storage building up. But I don't believe that his building is gonna cause any issue with her. And Mr. Ainsworth said he didn't care.
There you go.
Does she live
The
out there?
neighbor
Yeah.
that.
No, they don't
his
live out here, but
neighbor,
they bought property.
The lady that owns the land between your house and your
Yes.
she came in and asked if she wants to do a storage. So I don't know if that's gonna cause any issues with his building. She came in Friday.
Shouldn't.
Well, it shouldn't,
Well,
if I can get you to say that there's an issue with the water on the runoff of your roof going to other people's property, and that you'll put a gutter on that to redirect it to stay on your property.
That's what I do for living. You
I know,
That's
I
what
know.
I do for
He
living.
just-
No,
she just asked
the
me-
pictures
I don't
got
cause any problems for,
Yeah.
either for me or the neighbors, I mean.
Yeah.
I never had, why would I, you know, what I'm actually looking for is buy both properties, but I mean, I would be more, able to do that, but, somehow they were able to get those,
The French drain?
yeah, they were able to get it, so if the city wouldn't allow that, they would be mine right now. But the cities made that sale, so they got an interest, so that's a 1 point less for me in there. Because I had made an offer already before that. So when the city approved something like that, it's like saying, go for it, you know what I mean? I mean, it could have been stopped at the time also.
There was
I'd like to
one.
make a motion to postpone the decision on the variance for one till the next regular meeting, to give an office time to find the, permit information that was supposedly issued at an earlier date.
There was no permit issued, is what he's saying. He was told he didn't need one.
They went over and tried to give him a letter to ask him, you know, what he was building, but nobody could get a hold of him. But there's been nothing issued except for when I went over and told him to stop building it, he needed to come apply for the permit. Permit was free, just come apply for it and apply for a variance. And that's what he's doing. And personally, I don't think it's a problem. I mean,
Small footage, we've done that in the past, but I just can't go 0-0.
Well, it's not quite 0-0, but I mean, it's might as well be. But the reason, and I tried to explain it before, is that you don't want to have buildings, like I would go to somebody build the next building to, if you get just a little bit of fire, just jump into the next one real quick. And so that's what you're trying to avoid. The setback rules that was in place was put in there by the developer back in whenever Holiday Lakes and Club Alaska were started. And we just kept those setback rules. But the reason is basically, like, I'll just give Lake Jackson. Lake Jackson's got 50-foot lots, they got 0 lot line clearance on one side. So you put your house on, and you got 10 foot on the other side. So if you build a house that's this certain size, you can still get to your backyard, and you're still 10 foot from the next house. If you're doing it 5 foot on either side, they put you in, basically in the center on 50-foot lot or whatever your house building. But that kept you the room to get to the
I
back.
understand
But
all that, but.
that's the reason. So
No, I understand.
and waiving it or giving you a variance, we got the way. Is that gonna cause us to have problems with somebody else where you did it for him?
Yep.
And so that's the thing, what we gotta do. And sometimes it's not a good decision, but because the only thing that can be built on either side of it would be another shed of some sort, because there's no room for a sewer system on a lot that small, so they can't build a residence, but they can build a shed. But like you got, and I don't see the problem as long as that holds true myself. But I don't have a vote in this fight. So, but still, the common sense part of it was to keep people from getting too close together on the fire, or any other reason. So you have access to the back, and if they had to get around, instead of running through a burning building to fight the fire on the backside, they'd have some way to come around. If you got a fence around it, I mean, of course, it'd probably burn down pretty quick.
I can cut the fence out if you need to.
Well, it's a good point, but I mean, it looks, to me, it looks good, but I mean,
It's cool.
it's a decision, but this is the reason, basically, whenever this thing started, they asked me to go look, and I talked to you about it, and I told you you'd have to ask for a variance. I can't ask for the variance for it.
Well, that's why
But
I'm
the
here,
thing about that is we try not to set precedents. This is what started where we said everybody has to get a permit. You have to fill it out, you have to give a description of what you're gonna do and understand. So we have that last shot at telling you what you're supposed to have and keep it right. Even if it's a no-cost permit, just bingo, you just got one. But then you'll sign off on it. That would stop this from happening. If Cindy, I'm just gonna say, she probably said, okay, you're gonna put a shed up over there, she didn't know it's gonna go from property line to property line. She just didn't even ask the question, never thought of it. Yeah. And so, yeah, you don't need it, you're not gonna be trying to live in it. That's why it was like that. And this is how mistakes are made, and that's why we're trying to correct it. But you just happen to be the first one, maybe.
Okay, so it shall be the first one, then let's move forward, because I can take pictures all around
But
the
anyhow,
city.
it's a variance, it's up to them. I mean, I don't, at the present rate, I don't see anything, because there's nobody gonna build anything except maybe
So,
another shed.
I would like to see what everybody has to say, I mean, is it yes or no, because I would like to know. Because I have materials sitting in there and rain and everything, I'm losing money, at the end of the day, I'm losing
We
money.
don't get a second, they don't vote on it.
Well, that's up to them. I'm all here.
Okay, I'll call for a second, anybody want a second?
Okay.
What's the motion?
No, second.
I'll second it.
You'll second
His,
it? Okay,
that you don't give him a variance?
what do you say?
Didn't you wanna give it to him?
Yeah, but he voted not to go
Oh,
to
yeah,
the.
no, we're not
Postpone the
voting.
decision
No.
until next month.
You know what you're saying tonight? He made the motion to.
No, we said no.
He wanted, no, he made a motion to table.
For next month.
That then confused everybody.
But there's no file.
There ain't
That's
none.
what was brought us.
Done look.
There's no file. Okay, so instead of tabling it, we're gonna act on it.
Yeah,
Okay?
let's act on it
So
right now.
I'll make a motion.
if
to pass.
his motion dies,
Yeah.
so now we can ask for a new motion.
I make a motion, we give him the variance as he requested.
I
Move
second
forward
that.
with it. Move forward with it, and there's a mistake made, but.
We'll have to correct
Yes.
it, work harder on doing it.
Yes. So
Okay,
that,
who seconded it? Anybody?
Hamby is saying. I'll give it to
Motion.
him. We both did it.
No, who motioned it?
Disa motioned.
And me and Rob said at the same time on the second, so you figured it out.
We'll go for it. Go ahead, I understand your decision, sir.
Yay, you got it.
Okay, motion was made today, seconded by Roberta. Any other
I
discussion?
mean, mistakes are made, and we look at it.
All, no other discussion on it? All those in favor of giving him the motion, variance, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Nay. Okay, 4-1, motion, you got the variance.
Now I need my yard mowed now. No, my husband does my yard.
No travel
And
trailer
my mother-in-law.
permits, right? None.
No.
Manufactured home permits, none. Executive session, any action to go into executive session for? Anybody? Done. Action items, action taken, no, we don't need that. Number 19, reports. I have some stuff I'm gonna tell you. I semi-told y'all some of this myself. Trying to get mine out of the way. The engineer said that we didn't have enough money to put the pavilion in like you wanted, and not enough money to put the, with the restroom. We can put a restroom out there, but then we still have to put a system in. We spend about according to him, it's 20,000.
Bo Johns.
It's a problem.
We, 110,000 plus 24 arrest, sewer system. The next thing that was brought up, and this was the second thing we were gonna try to do, was put a generator over here for this building. So that, and there were emergencies when we, like we had in the floods and the hurricanes, when we distributed food and had all that stuff out here, and people coming around that far side, that we'd have a place for them to come to cool off, and we'd have fire here, and the rent cost, anybody brings food in here, we'd have it where we could at least come in and cool off, because after a hurricane or a flood, it's usually really hot. So anyhow, the generator, talking to Andrea Souffle, she said that she's handled a lot of the generators. We just need to get us an electrician out here to size it for us, and then she can push it through and go and help us get that thing go out for bid, and we can get that generator. And then the parking lot, and that's what I was talking about, the parking lot. We talked about if you do have this and you use it like that, if you got 30 cars, it's just gonna look like a parking lot out here everywhere. But that's what we talked about, maybe we could take some of that money and pave that up out yonder, and if we don't use it, we give it back. So I'm just trying to find things to spend it on to where we can benefit from it, not just throw it away, but benefit from it. And it's gotta be something like that work, because we use this as a staging area in the crisis, and everybody that's been here before knows that. You know, we had all the food in here, and we handed food out yonder with the way the people drove around and come out. We handed lots of food out, lots of water, lots of supplies, and so that's part of it. And that's what I'm gonna try to submit, because I have to do something real quick, because we only got 3 months to tie it up. Then I asked if there was enough money to go out that little short pavilion out here. In other words, you could stick supplies under it, you don't have to worry about covering it up, you wouldn't be in the sun, it wouldn't, if you had food or anything, and supplies is handed out, it'd be under the shed, and you could hand it out to the people as they drove by, the way they did in the past. So, anyhow, that's the three things that I could ask for, and if it thinks as high as it is, we probably won't be able to get but one of them. The people are crazy.
Well, what would we do?
Everything's too high, I just don't know why it's too high. But anyhow, that was the things that I said I would bring up about that. And so, up to y'all, oh, yeah. What? Yeah, we went around and I did call the fire company and I told them about it, which was Stream Energy, and they said, we'll call Texas to Mexico, so I called Texas, Stream, I complained to them, said, y'all need to put pressure on Texas to Mexico, so they called them, evidently sent them a letter in Texas, New Mexico, and in New Mexico, I put in a complaint to them, and the next day, Latour is his last name, called me, and they said they were gonna send somebody out here to start looking at it. He said, but they don't have no lights that's, can't tell if it's working or not. He said, what they would do, they cover them up, and if it comes on, they just leave it. When you cover up the fire, photo cells, and if it comes on, but then it blinks back off in just a few seconds. But if you see it come on, they just go to the next one, and that's how they test it. So we turn them in, it's blinking, they come out, cover it up, if it comes on, they don't change it. That's what his story was. But anyhow, they are out here, but we made a map, and we assigned numbers to them.
I'll get it in a
We
minute.
got a big map, 95 streetlights.
That's how many we have, and how many are out. I know more.
That's what I told him. That's what I told him. I said, we got 95 streetlights we're paying for, and I said maybe 60% of it's working fully functional. So anyhow, we'll see what that does. And but
I would put a request for a new one in up there off of Case,
Well,
and they never got, that's been 2 years, and we still haven't got one up.
yeah, but I don't know what it is. People don't like Holiday Lakes. Even the people that live here don't like it.
Apparently some don't.
Life goes on.
So anyhow,
Anyway.
we try to get help from the county, which we pay county taxes. We try to get help from the fire company. They do it, they go into Angleton, they change, they do it for everybody else. But they don't want to come to Holiday Lakes. And so we catch the flack because we can't get somebody else to do the job. And that's where we are.
Yeah, we kind of middle.
But anyhow, that's all I got.
Why instead of subcontracting people from out there, they charge a lot of money that the city can barely afford? Why we don't try to get our community together and just, help people like me or
We
other small
tried that.
businesses
Yes,
and just
we
get it
tried
done
that.
ourselves?
We've
I
tried
mean, we
it,
don't
that's
have,
one of-
a lot of us have a good equipment around.
Yes, sir, many years ago, that's the way it was.
Well,
Yeah,
it doesn't hurt to go back to
But
it.
yes.
You said get help from the people.
Yes,
There's a
yes.
lot of quality people out here.
But there's a lot of
I'll tell you
talent
what
out
you
there.
can do, you go out and you get a list of people that wanna volunteer a day, or 2 days, or 3 days to do any kind of a project, and you can bring us that long list or short list.
How many workers you need?
Huh?
How many workers you need?
Well, it depends on what project we're gonna have,
That's
just
what we
give me
have.
the list, and then we'll
Show me the
call you and
project,
let
I'll
you
decide how
know.
many workers it will take.
I'm saying you're not gonna get that many, unless you're gonna pay for them all out of your pocket.
Well, I'll pay it out of my pocket, but you give me the check when I finish.
I'll give you.
You're gonna hire me for it, I'll take the responsibility as a contractor and get it done, but at the end of the day, I have to pay for it, I'm not gonna donate it.
Well, and some of the things that we run into is grants. If we get grants, there's so many different regulations pertaining to the grants, and you have to follow the Bacon Act, you have to follow, what's the other, procedure, protocol, there's so many things. Yes, it has to be engineered, and all that has to be turned in before we can even look at getting any money for that grant. It's not that we're not trying, but sometimes the grants, our hands are told.
Well, that's kinda out of our hands, but I
Yeah,
mean,
it is
that's
out of
something
our
we can
hands.
handle.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it doesn't mean that we cannot handle the job.
Oh, I'm sure y'all
You know?
Well, we had people help with the helipad out here. It was all volunteer work that did that.
Yeah.
No, I understand, it's just that,
Do you think we're gonna flood out here in the lakes?
Ma'am?
Do you think we're gonna flood? How does it look?
No.
No.
Storm's turning, it's going to.
It's going to Mexico right now, yeah.
It's moving more south. You're watching.
We had a flood, we had an 18-inch rain here July the 4th, 5 years ago or whatever. And it, just a little water went over the roads and the creek filled up and we didn't have much of a problem. Some of the low-lying areas back up in here got water in the houses. But other than that, it was in and out one day, you know, just like it does in Houston all the time.
Move on with the reports.
But the flood that gets us is the one from way up. Too much water coming down and no place for it to go.
well, we don't do something like, some kind of event that kind of brings people in. And, you know, like, let's say that I can donate food, let's put it that way, for the whole town. You know, 100 to 100 people. But I'm not gonna charge nobody nothing, but what they can do is come, show up, but just, hey, put whatever you want in. That's another way to collect money ourselves, instead of asking everybody around, like the county and state, and just waiting forever for it.
Well, we got some things people can do, but I don't, you know, that would pay out of funds like poison the lakes. If you got a boat, you got the pumping equipment, you could get out there and spray the lilies and kill the lilies in the lake and save $5,000. That's what they want for one lake. But the stuff like that, you could go volunteer if she needs somebody to help pick up the stuff that's behind her house in a lake. And that's what I talked about earlier. You weren't here when I talked about that. But so she can't do it, and most everybody around us probably, oh, they can't do it, but you have to go out there and pick it up.
But they can bring some money on the table.
Do what?
Maybe they can't do it themselves, but they can bring some money to the table somehow.
Well, years ago, a citizen volunteered and cleaned out the ditches.
And we got the probationers from Angleton, they come out and
Well,
they
that's-
helped us.
that is
We
a
had
different way.
6,600 tires in front of City Hall that year.
But that's, I mean, we can.
That was
we
from
can give
all
another shot,
volunteers.
Stuff like that, like
Well,
that.
the things
And I got
The
pictures.
first big ditches we put in the town was clean for years, but then we all went out there and cleaned it up.
You just gotta take a project and commit to it and do it.
But the thing is,
That's how you do it.
somebody has to start, you know.
Yeah, but
If nobody starts, then it's just gonna be work.
you don't have to have somebody to tell you to start.
Oh, I know,
You know?
I know.
You did the thing.
It's all money, yeah, lots of money, every money.
We
But
tried to
sure,
clean the lakes ourselves one time.
I can clean my area.
I'll volunteer my time to help y'all out if y'all can get it going.
this is what started, where we said, everybody has to get a permit. You have to fill it out, you have to give a description of what you're gonna do and understand. So we have that last shot at telling you what you're supposed to have and keep it right. Even if it's a no-cost permit, just bingo, you just got one. But then you'll sign off on it. That would stop this from happening. If Cindy, I'm just gonna say, she probably said, okay, you're gonna put a shed up over there, she didn't know it's gonna go from property line to property line. She just didn't even ask the question, never thought of it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you don't need it, you're not gonna be trying to live in it, that's why it was like that. And this is how mistakes are made, and that's why we're trying to correct it. But you just happen to be the first one, maybe.
Okay, so it shall be the first one, then let's move forward, because I can take pictures all around
But
the
anyhow, it's
city.
a very, it's up to them. I mean, I don't, at the present rate, I don't see anything, because there's nobody gonna build anything except maybe
So,
another shed.
I would like to see what everybody has to say, you know, I mean, is it yes or no, because I would like to know. 'Cause I have materials sitting in there and rain and everything, I'm losing
Yeah,
money,
he
at
got
the
a
end of the
motion
day,
on
I'm
the table.
losing
We
money.
don't get a second, they don't vote on it.
Well, that's, to them, I'm here.
Okay, I'll call for a second, anybody want a second?
Okay.
What's the motion?
I'll second.
I'll second it.
You'll second
His,
it? Okay.
that you don't give him a variance?
What do you?
Didn't you wanna give it to him?
Yeah, but he voted not to give it to
Yeah,
him.
no, we're not
Postpone
voting.
the decision
No.
until next month.
You know what you're saying tonight? He made the motion to.
No, we said no.
He wanted, no, he made a motion to pay.
For next month.
That then confused everybody.
But there's no file.
There ain't
That's
none.
what with brothers.
Done what?
There's no file. Okay, so instead of tabling it, we're gonna act on it.
Yeah,
Okay?
let's act on it
So
right now.
I'll make the motion.
if his motion dies,
Yeah.
so now we can ask for a new motion.
I make a motion, we give him the variance as he requested.
I
Move
second
forward
that.
with it. Move forward with it, and there's a mistake made, but.
We'll have to correct
Yes.
it, work harder on doing it.
Yes. So
Okay,
that,
who seconded it? Anybody?
Hand me a thing. I'll give it to
Motion.
him. We both did it.
No, who motioned it?
Disa motioned.
And me and Rob said at the same time on the second, so you figured it out.
We'll go for it. Go ahead, I understand your decision, sir.
Yay, you got it.
Okay, motion was made today, seconded by Roberta. Any other
I
discussion?
mean, mistakes are made, and we look at it.
All, no other discussion on it? All those in favor of giving him the motion, variance, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Nay. Okay, 4-1, motion, you got the variance. Okay.
Now I need my yard mowed now. No, my husband does my yard.
No travel
And
trailer
my mother-in-law.
permits, right, none.
No.
Manufactured home permits, none. Executive session, any action to go into executive session for? Anybody? Done. Action items, action taken, no, we don't need that. Number 19, reports. I have some stuff I'm gonna tell you. I semi-told y'all some of this myself. So I get mine out of the way. The engineer said that we didn't have enough money to put the pavilion in like you wanted, and not enough money to put the, with the restroom. We can put a restroom out there, but then we still have to put a system in. We spend about according to him, it's 20,000.
Bo Johns.
It's a problem.
We, 110,000 plus 24 arrest, sewer system. The next thing that was brought up, and this was the second thing we were gonna try to do, was put a generator over here for this building. So that, and there were emergencies when we, like we had in the floods and the hurricanes, when we distributed food and had all that stuff out here, and people coming around that far side, that we'd have a place for them to come to cool off, and we'd have power here, and if anybody brings food in here, we'd have it where we could at least come in and cool off, because after a hurricane or a flood, it's usually really hot. So anyhow, the generator, talking to Andrea Souffle, she said that she's handled a lot of the generators. We just need to get us an electrician out here to size it for us, and then she can push it through and go and help us get that thing go out for bid, and we can get that generator. And then the parking lot, and that's what I was talking about, the parking lot. We talked about if you do have this and you use it like that, if you got 30 cars, it's just gonna look like a parking lot out here everywhere. But that's what we talked about, maybe we could take some of that money and pave that up out yonder, and if we don't use it, we give it back. So I'm just trying to find things to spend it on to where we can benefit from it, not just throw it away, but benefit from it. And it's gotta be something like that because we use this as a staging area in the crisis, and everybody that's been here before knows that. You know, we had all the food in here, and we handed food out yonder with the way the people drove around and come out. We handed lots of food out, lots of water, lots of supplies, and so that's part of it. And that's what I'm gonna try to submit, because I have to do something real quick, because we only got 3 months to tie it up. Then I asked him, if there was enough money to go out that, little, short pavilion out here. In other words, you could stick supplies under it, you don't have to worry about covering it up, you wouldn't be in the sun, it wouldn't, if you had food or anything, and supplies you'd hand it out, it'd be under the shed, and you could hand it out to the people as they drove by, the way they did in the past. So, anyhow, that's the three things that I could ask for, and if it things as high as it is, we probably won't be able to get but one of them. The people are crazy.
Well, what would we do?
Everything's too high, I just don't know why it's too high. But anyhow, that was the things that I said I would bring up about that. And so, it's up to y'all, oh, yeah.
Generator.
What?
Generator.
Yeah, we went around and I did call the I called the power company and I told them about it, which was Stream Energy, and they said, we'll call Texas to Mexico, so I called Texas, Stream, I complained to them, said, y'all need to put pressure on Texas to Mexico, so they called them, evidently sent them a letter in Texas, New Mexico, and in New Mexico, I put in a complaint to them, and the next day, Latour is his last name, called me, and they said they were gonna send somebody out here to start looking at it. He said, but they don't have no lights that's, can't tell if it's working or not. He said, what they would do, they cover them up, and if it comes on, they just leave it. When you cover up the fire, photo cells, and if it comes on, but then it blinks back off in just a few seconds. But if you see it come on, they just go to the next one, and that's how they test it. So we turn them in, it's blinking, they come out, cover it up, if it comes on, they don't change it. That's what his story was. But anyhow, they are out here, but we made a map, and we assigned numbers to them.
I'll get it in a
We
minute.
got a big map, 95 streetlights.
That's how many we have, and how many are out. I know more.
That's what I told him. That's what I told him. I said, we got 95 streetlights we're paying for, and I said maybe 60% of it working fully functional. So anyhow, we'll see what that does. And but
I would put a request for a new one in up there off of Casey,
Well,
and they never got, that's been 2 years, and we still haven't got one up.
yeah, but I don't know what it is. People don't like Holiday Lakes. Even the people that live here don't like it.
Apparently some don't.
Life goes on.
So anyhow,
Anyway.
we try to get help from the county, which we pay county taxes. We try to get help from the fire company. They do it for, they go into Angleton, they change, they do it for everybody else. But they don't want to come to Holiday Lakes. And so we catch the flack because we can't get somebody else to do the job. And that's where we are.
Yeah, we kind of middle.
But anyhow, that's all I got.
Why instead of subcontracting people from out there, they charge a lot of money that the city can barely afford? Why we don't try to get our community together and just, help people like me or
We
other small
tried that.
businesses
Yes,
and just
we
get it
tried
done
that.
ourselves?
We've
I
tried
mean, we
it,
don't
they
have,
wanna-
a lot of us have a good equipment around.
Yes, sir, many years ago, that's the way it was.
Well,
Very
it doesn't
ugly,
hurt to go back to
but
it.
yes.
You said get help from the people.
Yes,
There's a
yes,
lot
yes,
of, there's a
yes.
lot of quality people out here.
But there's a lot of
I'll tell you
talent
what
out
you
there.
can do. You go out and you get a list of people that wanna volunteer a day, or 2 days, or 3 days to do any kind of a project, and you can bring us that long list or short list.
How many workers you need?
Huh?
How many workers you need?
Well, it depends on what project we're gonna have.
That's
Just
what we
give me
have.
the list, and then
Then
we'll
show me the
call you and
project,
let
I'll
you
decide how
know.
many workers it will take.
Well, I'm saying you're not gonna get that many, unless you're gonna pay for them all out of your pocket.
Well, I'll pay it out of my pocket, but you give me the check when I finish.
I'll give you.
You're gonna hire me for it, I'll take the responsibility as a contractor and get it done, but at the end of the day, I have to pay for it, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
donate it.
well, and some of the things that we run into is grants. If we get grants, there's so many different regulations pertaining to the grants, and you have to follow the Bacon Act, you have to follow, what's the other, procedure, protocol, there's so many things. Yes, it has to be engineered, and all that has to be turned in before we can even look at getting any money for that grant. It's not that we're not trying, but sometimes the grants, our hands are told.
Well, that's kinda out of our hands, but I
Yeah,
mean,
it is
that's
out of
what
our
we
hands.
handle.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it doesn't mean that we cannot handle the job.
Oh, I'm sure y'all
You
can.
know?
Well, we had people help with the helipad out here. It was all volunteer work that did that.
Yeah.
No, I understand, it's just that,
Do you think we're gonna flood out here in the lakes?
Ma'am?
Do you think we're gonna flood? How does it look?
No.
No.
Storm's turning, it's going to.
It's going to Mexico right now, yeah.
It's moving more south. You're watching.
We had a flood, we had an 18-inch rain here July the 4th, 5 years ago or whatever. And it, just a little water went over the roads and the creek filled up and we didn't have much of a problem. Some of the low-lying areas back up in here got water in the houses. But other than that, it was in and out one day, you know, just like it does in Houston all the time.
Move on with the reports.
But the flood that gets us is the one from way up. Too much water coming down and no place for it to go.
well, we don't do something like, some kind of event that kind of brings people in. And, you know, like, let's say that I can donate food, let's put it that way, for the whole town. You know, 100 to 100 people. But I'm not gonna charge nobody nothing, but what they can do is come, show up, but just, hey, put whatever you want in. That's another way to collect money ourselves, instead of asking everybody around, like the county and state, and just waiting forever for it.
Well, we got some things people can do, but I don't, you know, that would pay out of funds like poison the lakes. If you got a boat, you got the pumping equipment, you could get out there and spray the lilies and kill the lilies in the lake and save $5,000. That's what they want for one lake. But the stuff like that, you could go volunteer if she needs somebody to help pick up the stuff that's behind her house in a lake. And that's what I talked about earlier. You weren't here when I talked about that. But so she can't do it, and most everybody around us probably, oh, they can't do it, but you have to
Maybe
go out
they can
there
do
and
it,
pick it up.
but they can bring some money on the table.
Do what?
Maybe they can't do it themselves, but they can bring some money to the table somehow.
Well, years ago, a citizen volunteered and cleaned out the ditches.
And we got the probationers from Angleton, they come out and
Well,
they
that-
helped us.
that is
We
a
had
different way.
6,600 tires in front of City Hall that year.
But that's, I mean, we can.
That was
we
from
can give
all
it another shot,
volunteers.
Stuff like that, like
Well,
that.
the things
And I got
The
pictures.
first big ditches we put in the town was clean for years, but then we all went out there and cleaned it up.
You just gotta take a project and commit to it and do it.
But
That's,
the thing is,
that's how you do it.
somebody has to start, you know.
Yeah, but
If nobody starts, then it's just gonna be work.
you don't have to have somebody to tell you to start.
Oh, I know,
You know?
I know.
You did the thing.
It's all money, yeah, lots of money, everything. But
We
if
tried to
you're,
clean the lakes ourselves one time.
I clean my area.
I'll volunteer my time to help y'all out if y'all can get it going.
Yes, I do.
Did you write that down?
Yeah, Trish.
What you writing now?
It's on recording.
I'm pretty sure it's on several recorders.
I didn't say I would organize. Hey, I didn't say I would organize it. I said I will help y'all. I will volunteer my time to help y'all.
Because one of the things,
That's good input.
you know, I ride around sometimes and I notice things and I write them down.
or you want to wait.
One of the things I do want us to start doing, and I mentioned it to another council member last night, is that we need to clean our town back up. Our town is rode up, it's trashed up, and it's junked up.
Okay, let's say that I donate, one day of the month, 3 workers, full day. I'm willing to pay for the cleanup, you know, that part, but I'm not gonna pick up the trash. I mean, I assume that's what we pay trash, everybody pays, so.
Yes.
As a trash company, they have to pick it up and we leave it on the side of the road.
Yes.
The least thing that the city can do
They're
is
supposed to do
donate
that.
the bags for us. And I would have mentioned that to you a while back, I mean, I don't mind.
So let's get a calendar, let's have a workshop one day. Maybe in 2 weeks, we have a workshop on a Tuesday. And everybody that wants to volunteer to help, come up here and meet, and we decide, do we want a zone? We have zone A, we have zone B, we have zone C, and we have zone D. And we pick a zone for 1 month, and we go and we start cleaning. And we go to people's houses and we knock on the doors. And if they can't mow their yard, because I got a good mower, I know you got a couple of good mowers.
Quite a few.
And we go and we start mowing people's, because we have a lot of special needs. We have a lot of handicapped people. We have a lot of elderly people that can't get out and mow their yards. And why can't we volunteer as a community to take out zone A and clean it up and put it on the side of the road, as you said, and our trash people pick it up. And if I have to go knock on their door in Alvin, Texas, I will.
That's okay, you get them out here, I'll follow them. For some reason, I like my
I do
foot
that
behind
too.
them.
So let's do that. In 2 weeks, we'll call a special meeting or a workshop meeting.
Workshop meeting.
Workshop, Sabrina, Julie.
Give me a call.
I'd like to schedule that in 2 weeks on a
You
Tuesday.
filming all this stuff, we'll send it to them.
And then we'll get a game plan together. We'll call the garbage people. I'll get in touch with Missouri County probationers and see if we can't get some of them people out here to help us. I mean, they helped us tremendously. We had 16 trailers that day, that Saturday. We had 8 dumpsters. And they come out, that we filled them up and they rotated them out. And I'm not joking when I said we had 6,600 tires in the front of City Hall after it was built.
After how many floods, I'm sure there's way more than that now.
Yeah, well, that was, and the probationers went and they helped us pick them up. And people brought them also because it was free. And then we contacted, there is a tire recycle place in Cleveland, Texas. They brought out an 18-wheeler and they were all loaded in it and taken off. Now, the last time we did it, though, they charged us, what was it, $3 a tire?
Something like that.
Yeah, and then the big tires were $10. And then we had some from Planters Point and Long Pond that paid for their tires. They come out, they said, we have these tires, will y'all disperse of them for us? And we said, yes. So they were able to pay the city and reimburse us for their costs because they weren't part of our community. But, yes, our place is terrible.
I'll get a hold of the church too and have the youth for the kids and everything, we can do that all together.
Okay, so we'll have a meeting, a workshop here in 2 Tuesdays.
2 weeks is July 2nd.
July 2nd, oh, no, we ain't doing it that week. No, the next, so it'd be 3 Tuesdays. 2nd, so that'd be the 9th, July the 9th.
July 9th?
Yes.
7 o'clock?
Yep. Here at City Hall. We'll see how many.
If y'all can get a hold of Clyde too, and let him know, because we were talking about doing that at church, so.
Okay, I'll talk to Clyde. As a matter of fact, he's coming to see me Tuesday next week to do a job. Yes. So, 7 o'clock, yeah. The workshop. Okay, everybody in agreement?
Yes.
Everybody's gonna be here. Okay, let's see.
I know where all y'all live.
All right, well, thank y'all.
Thank you very much. This is this.
Thank y'all.
Yes, sir. You're welcome. Good night.
You have a good day. Night.
Don't run off yet. We're gonna,
We're gonna
yeah.
So nobody had anything else to report? So, didn't do shit, didn't do shit, didn't do shit. Got it. What?
Trying to figure out why they're holding a secret meeting over here in the front corner between the mayor and Fuckface. Dunlap's replacement.
How long's he been back there?
Just a few minutes.
I don't know. My question is, why in the Flip Valley foo fuck? Yes, I said Flip Valley foo fuck. There goes Kay, she gotta introduce herself.
I need to make an appointment
With Torres?
I don't think you're really answering answers.
I've been trying to get an appointment with him for a while. Good luck.
He's a shitty dumbass.
Yeah. Do what? They cleaned it.
Why is he in Dunlap's position now? Is Dunlap gone?
No. Who? We have 2 assistant chiefs. Torres is one of them, Dunlap's the other.
So he had to take a pay cut?
he's only here still 1 year.
Yeah, well,
His wife is the assistant sergeant.
this is his family.
How are you, Miss
Family's proud of him.
Carol's doing it.
Okay. Just raise your right hand.
I, Lorenzo Macias,
There you go. Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I have not directly or indirectly paid,
that I have not directly or indirectly paid,
offered or promised to pay,
offered or promised to pay,
contributed or promised to contribute
contributed or promised to contribute
any money or thing of value or promotion or promised any public office or employment. Can you get all that?
any money,
Contributed any money or thing of value
any money or thing of value,
or promised any public office or employment
or promised any office or employment
for the giving or withholding of a vote at the election in which I was elected.
for the giving or the vote that we shall
For
select.
withholding a vote in the election of which struck this over. For giving or withholding of a vote
For giving or withholding of a vote
at the election in which I was elected.
at the election at which I was elected.
I have a question for you.
I did my best to answer it.
Okay, so what changed us this month? Last several months, y'all have had us wanded, y'all have had us searched, and y'all have had the signs up. Why has it changed now?
I can't answer that because I don't know.
Flanders ain't here.
Honestly, I do not know the answer to that.
Probably because they know they're breaking the damn law, that's why.
I can get Chief.
Obviously they're not gonna talk to us. Brandon's not gonna talk to us.
Talk to Chief. Set up an
Dorsey,
appointment with him.
I've tried that in writing. They won't. The mayor won't talk to me. Diesel won't talk to me. And why do I gotta be quiet? Diesel won't talk to me. And the fucking chief won't talk to me.
I'll try to find out. Okay, promise you.
Because it's been a month since I requested that shit. I turned it into Dobbs and I turned it into Julie and I made them sign it too.
Okay. I will do as best I can say. I'll do my best. And I'll try to find the answer for you.
Like I said, I made them sign the paperwork when I turned it in that they received it.
I'll check into, do the best I can, try to get you an answer. If I can't get you an answer, I'll try to get you set up with Chief. Okay?
Because yeah, that's my question.
All right, then, I'll give it.
Because 1 minute we're being freaking searched and the next minute we're not. 1 minute it's a problem, next minute it's not. It's like they can't make up their damn mind. And all they had to do was pass an ordinance that was given to them from TML. Fill in the blank. That's all they had to do.
I will definitely get you an answer.
Thank you.
If I can't get you the answer, I will set you up with Chief so
Okay.
you can come in and talk with her. Okay?
Okay.
Mayor, I make a motion motion to adjourn?
And I'll second it.
The motion is made and seconded.
Congratulations, sir. So we're adjourned. We're done. Oh.
You can keep that going. How you turn this thing off?
Pause. Stop. Save. Save. And off.
Okay.
That's all you have to do. Bye, sweetie. Call me if you need anything, text me, whatever, okay? And hopefully you'll get your meeting.